At least 8 U.S. cities are grappling with the aftermath of mass shootings that took place over the weekend. Thanks for joining us, everyone, at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol in for Neda Arampur. Now, cities impacted by gun violence over the weekend included Philadelphia and Chattanooga, Tennessee. Meantime, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are trying to agree on gun legislation. Bradley Blackburn reports.
This is the moment gunfire struck Philadelphia's busy nightlife area, killing 3 people and injuring close to a dozen others. Witnesses say several suspects fired into a large crowd just before midnight Saturday.
Everybody hit the ground. Everybody started running every which way.
Officers posted nearby engaged the gunman as they ran away from the scene.
The officer drew his weapon and fired several times in the direction of the unknown male, we believe striking him.
And in Chattanooga, Tennessee, at least 3 people were killed in a shooting near a nightclub. More than a dozen were injured by gunfire and 3 hit by vehicles trying to escape. After mass shootings at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, and a medical center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, demands for change are growing. On Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats and Republicans say they are seeing progress in new gun legislation talks.
It feels to me like we are closer than we've been since I've been in the Senate.
There are more Republicans at the table talking about changing our gun laws and investing in mental health than at any time since Sandy Hook. Now, I've also been part of many failed negotiations in the past, so I am sober-minded about our chances.
Negotiators say measures such as expanded background checks and funding for mental health and school safety are on the table. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, this week, parents of victims and survivors of both the Uvalde and Buffalo mass shootings have been invited to testify before a House committee.
Wednesday's hearing is expected to take a closer look at the human impact of gun violence. And our other top story this morning, a big change at the San Diego International Airport is impacting travelers.
The Terminal 1 lot has just been closed, meaning it is now more difficult to find parking. CBS 8's Chris Gurrow live at the airport with everything we need to know here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, which means that reservations for Terminal 2 parking is going to be kind of at a premium right now. So important if you got some future travel coming up to get on the website right now. Make sure that there are spots available because we're losing 500 spots here at Terminal 1. Now, we're at Terminal 2 right now where we are watching people depart, get out on their way. But again, 500 spots will be vacated or the need to be vacated by June 14th because demolition is going to start on the 15th. So the only cars that are there right now are cars that have been left overnight or long term, and so they need to get out by June 14th. Now, this is all part of the Terminal 1 construction project. So what that parking lot is going to be replaced by once it is demolished is a 5-story parking plaza with 2 sky bridges and a new vista. The Terminal 1 expansion is also going to add a total of 30 new gates, giving the airport 62 across the entire Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. And the reason we're here at Terminal 2 is because that is the parking lot that you are going to use even if you are traveling through Terminal 1. If you are going to be taking your own car here, you can do valet, but you could also go to Terminal 2 and then take that tram, or excuse me, the shuttle that will take you from 2 over to 1 to make sure that you can catch your flight. But the real advice here is going to be, of course, to make sure that you're prepared and make sure that you know all of your details, like when you're going to be boarding, when you're going to be taking off before you head out here.
Get here early, get dropped off, take alternative transportation to the airport, and then it won't be such a headache.
We just waited our turn, got off at Southwest, and that was it.
That ain't bad. Wasn't too bad.
And for more information on getting to the airport and parking here, you can go to our website, cbs8.com, and click on that story link. Eric, Dana Marie.
All right, thank you so much, Chris, for that. Now, this morning, the military is releasing more information about 2 Navy sailors killed in separate incidents over the weekend. Lieutenant Richard Bullock was killed in a Super Hornet crash. He was on a routine mission in the Mojave Desert Friday afternoon when his aircraft went down in a remote area. Bullock was stationed at Naval Air Station Lemoore and was assigned to Strike Fighter Squadron 113. Right now, the Navy is investigating why that plane went down. And we're also remembering another sailor who was killed in a crash in East San Diego County Friday night. This is John Anthony Del Toro. The 29-year-old was an electronics technician from Georgia. He was coming back to San Diego from a training mission in Imperial County with 4 other sailors when the van went off the road and crashed into a boulder. Del Toro died from his injuries. The other 3, men and women, were taken to the hospital. 2 are still in critical condition. The Navy and CHP are also investigating the cause of this crash. And this morning, all lanes on State Route 78 are back open after a major crash shut down the freeway. It happened around 9:30 last night. There are reports that someone rear-ended a stalled car on the shoulder and caused a 6-vehicle crash. The person was trapped inside their truck after crashing. They were extricated and flown to a trauma center. Traffic was backed up late into the night, but everything currently now is back open.
Well, today the U.S. Supreme Court will release a number of decisions, and that could include a decision on the controversial case of Roe versus Wade. In December, the court heard arguments in a case from Mississippi directly challenging Roe v. Wade, which guarantees a right to an abortion. Last month, a draft opinion was leaked showing a majority of the court supported overturning it. But drafts can and they do change, so final opinion could be different. Rulings are expected to be announced at 7 a.m. our time, but again, it may not include the case involving abortion. We will be watching it very closely. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack is set to make its case to the public this week in primetime. For nearly a year, the bipartisan committee has been digging into what led up to the attack. They've been looking into who paid for it, who organized it, and what President Trump was doing while it was happening. Members say the televised hearings will feature never-before-seen footage and live testimony from key witnesses. They say they'll also have taped interviews with Trump aides and family members. The first of 6 televised hearings will be happening Thursday night at 5 o'clock our time, and you can watch it live right here on CBS 8. Well, tomorrow is California's primary election day. For those of you who want to vote or drop off your ballot in person, there are now 218 voting centers across the county. They'll be open today from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you vote by mail, you need to have it postmarked by the end of the day on Tuesday. It will be counted as long as it arrives within 17 days.
And this morning, gas prices hit another record high in San Diego. We're now paying an average of $6.26. That's over a cent higher than just yesterday. Local gas prices have hit a new record for 10 days in a row. We are now 44 cents more than a month ago.
Taking a look outside here on this Monday after a nice, comfortable weekend out at the ball fields. Boy, you did have to make sure you had the sunscreen on, though, because it was pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, over up in Oceanside, I was up there yesterday, and it was a hot one. I mean, the only thing helping out was that sea breeze that you had. But besides that, that sun was beaming down even as early as 9, 10 a.m. Here's the look outside. I mean, earlier you were just looking at that shot from Pacific Beach. Beautiful. We even already have some clearing of those clouds. Take a look at how this is occurring. So mainly we're seeing them across the coastline and inland. Another morning with that expansive marine layer, that June gloom. But we do see some partial clearing that's expected to kind of start to take shape over the next several hours around the downtown area, stretching all the way up through about Del Mar. And that means that this marine layer is day by day going to be less and less expansive out there. Here's what it looks like as far as your day goes. 73 this afternoon, a few degrees above average, partly cloudy skies. We're on a strong warming trend that's taking shape all week. Ridge of high pressure keeps building, and what that means for us is today all the way through about Saturday, we're going to see temperatures build. So we're moving toward upper 70s along the coastline, low 90s inland. That again is going to peak on Friday and Saturday. Gusty west winds that we saw over the course of the weekend tapering off today. Marine layer intact this morning, but less impactful over the next several days. It's going to keep weakening. Here's what we see as far as your current temperatures go. Walking out the door, very mild, 60s almost across the board, 65 in Oceanside, 62 in Del Mar, and 54 in Alpine. If you do have the jacket with you as you step outside, you won't need it by this afternoon. It looks like those temperatures, especially inland, are going to be looking great out there. Temperature change, that 24-hour temperature change, shows that in most spots on the map, we're 1 to 3 degrees warmer than where we were just 24 hours ago. Otherwise, at exactly that same range. Let's take a look at what's going on in traffic. Want to take you to one thing that we want to just make you aware of. This is the southbound 5 and the 805 that's going to be closing for the daytime hours today through Thursday. 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the time frame on that. It's going to be that last exit on the 5 and 805 southbound in about the San Ysidro area. They're working on actually improving some of those roadways to make it more clear for wrong-way drivers which direction they need to be going. They're hoping that'll help in terms of any potential traffic jams or crashes that could be taking place in the area. So again, today through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 5 southbound and 805 southbound, those exit ramps are going to be closed during those daytime hours. Back to you.